Hello and welcome to Just the Facts, where we ask Toby to answer a frequently asked question. This week's question is this: I'm flying to Yellowstone to get the treasure. How do I get it back to New York?
People really ask these things, huh?
Apparently.
So you're going to have to do it in a set of steps. The first step, if you're recovering the treasure from Yellowstone National Park, the first set of options you're going to have to consider is whether or not you're going to inform the National Park Service that you're recovering the treasure. If you decide not to do that, then the second set of decisions you're going to have to make is how you get it back to New York. You can't fly with it. I don't recommend flying with it. So that leaves you with the third set of options, and that is how are you going to transport it. So one has to assume that you've got a rental car. You can get in the rental car with your treasure, head east. You'll get as far as the Mississippi because most of the major rental car companies use the Mississippi as a demarcation point between east and west. So if you're traveling from the west, they'll stop you at wherever you're crossing the Mississippi, and they actually have devices on the cars that prevent you from going any further. The same is true if you're coming from the east and heading west. So you might as well turn it in on the west side of the Mississippi, get a new car, and do another one-way ticket back to New York. The problem with that strategy is you've left a real nice little paper trail for yourself. So another option is to put the treasure in your rental car, head for the nearest bank that has a safe deposit box, establish a savings account so that you can get a safe deposit box and put the treasure in the safe deposit box, fly back to New York, and return with your own vehicle to recover the treasure. Which sounds perfectly reasonable. The third option is to hire a valuables transport company, Wells Fargo. They're very good at transporting valuables of all kinds. They don't care what it is. They're licensed, insured, and bonded to transfer. And so you could turn it over to them and have them transport it back to New York. Again, you're creating a paper trail, and I'm not sure what kind of bill of lading or bill of transport they would require to do that, but it certainly is a consideration. I think if it was me, I would go with the safe deposit box. Put it in the safe deposit box, return to my own vehicle, and then pick it up and return to my starting point, in our case, New Mexico. But I think those are the three options for getting it back, short of trying to fly with it, which I simply wouldn't do. It's going to require an inspection of some kind, and that inspection is going to stop you. It's just going to be raised questions. And then, like I said at the beginning of all this, you have to make a decision whether, if you're going to pick it up and if you believe it's in Yellowstone and that's where you're going to recover it, you have to make that initial decision of whether you're going to inform the National Park Service that's what you're doing. So those are your options.
Okay. I mean, I imagine there's others besides Wells Fargo.
Yeah. I mean, any of those transport and security companies. Wells Fargo just comes to mind because there's one that stops right across the street every day at the bank, at my bank across the way. So I just had them in mind. But yeah, any of those transport companies will move it for you.
All right, and don't forget to like this video with a thumbs up, share it with your social media contacts, and subscribe, and click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we go live or release a new video. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back next week with It's All About You. Is that correct?
Right. The first of the It's All About You interviews rather than Just the Facts. We're going to start focusing on the searchers.
Yeah, so maybe we'll continue this someday when we get more questions.
Yep.
And till then, enjoy All About You.